Side note, sort of adjacent topic. Could we stop being told to put beef tallow on our faces, please? Like, that is just fucking gross. I am sorry. Like,
I don't even know
all
what
these,
that is. Is
well,
that the stuff in the bone? Is that like the marrow?
no, it's the fat.
Oh. Oh.
Tallow is a nice word for saying the fat, right? And you Google it, and dermatologists are like, if you want to break out like a teenager, put it on. That just sounds disgusting to me. I mean, as I do with things like the snail slime trend. Like, I'm sorry, no slime, no
Yeah.
beef fat. Like, I good. It's nasty.
I don't even know about the snail slime, but I don't want to go there because you know how I reacted to the whole parasite
Oh yeah,
conversation we
yeah,
had. So
yeah.
no. Welcome to Drinks with the Girls. Conversations for women over 40 around connection, change, and the power of female friendship. Living well with stories to tell. I'm Karen, and this is Lisa.
We are moms and solopreneurs stepping into our own, diving into real conversations about things that matter to women in midlife.
We're here to spill the tea on everything that affects women in their 40s and beyond. Topics like loss and grief, changing relationships, launching kids, menopause, and reinventing ourselves in midlife. We are here to tackle it all.
Connect with us through a blend of our lived experiences, our friendship, the memory of our moms, plus a collection of real stories, honest conversations, and engaging interviews that will make women over 40 feel seen and remind them that they're not alone on this journey called life. Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Drinks with the Girls. You know, every year or every few years, there are always trends that pop up. And somehow midlife women have become the target audience for a lot of these trends. Apparently, we were supposed to be lifting heavy and eating a bunch of protein.
Billion grams protein.
Racing our gray hair and all the things. And, you know, some of it genuinely makes our lives better, but some of it feels just like another thing to add to our to-do list, which is super annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. So today we're giving our completely unqualified opinions. just let's put it out there on all of these trends. No research to back it. No actual newsworthy sources. We're just going to tell you whatever the fuck we want to tell you about that is basically what we're going to do.
Well, it's our own vetted opinions.
Yes. I just meant we won't be quoting experts. We're not going to be like, Dr. What's-Her-Bucket says that this is what you should do for protein. So we're debunking that myth. No, it ain't going to be that fancy.
Zero experts involved.
Yeah.
So what are you drinking today, girly?
I am on my hop water kick. So today is a blood orange hop water, and it is quite delicious. And then I have, I don't know, the best part of half of a water bottle. I'm trying to guilt myself into finishing.
Nice. I just have a boring berry-flavored Soleil sparkling water because we're recording at 4 p.m. instead of evening time.
I apologize if I'm sniffling through this podcast. All of a sudden, for some reason, I decided to wake up with some kind of a wacky allergy. I live in the Willamette Valley in Oregon, and the joke is always, if you don't have allergies when you move to the Willamette Valley, you will. So there you go.
Well, I'm going to stay away then.
No, don't stay away from me.
We just had a fire pop up just north of us.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah. And I usually just look at Tony's reaction and how, I gauge how worked up he is, and that's how I decide how I'm supposed to feel. And he's keeping his eye on it on this one. Yeesh. So if I have to dip out of here really quick.
Yeah, because he ran a station, right?
He did. Yep. He was captain at Station 543 in Highland. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about some of those trends that we see fill our social media feeds. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about the things showing up on Instagram, TikTok, conversations in our friends group maybe, and just deciding what is worth the hype. So first one I have to talk about because this is on my mind on the daily, and it's the gray hair movement, right? So, for decades, I feel like up until COVID, basically, women were spending thousands of dollars covering up their gray, right?
Yep.
Now silver is a thing. Like even young women in their 20s are dyeing their hair silver. So what are your thoughts on it?
Well, We talked about this in an episode that we did with Natasha Colminen, so I will link that in the show notes because she has lived and breathed that and had some great like resources and all that for those of you that are considering doing it. Honestly, I think people should be able to do whatever the hell they want to do. I wish I was getting more gray hair. We talked about this then. I'm bizarrely getting darker. Not grayer, darker. My stylist swears that I have some gray hair in there. I don't know. I can't find it. So I end up lightening it, like highlighting it because the dark is so dark. So I think people should do whatever the heck they feel like they want to do.
Do you know how annoying that sounds?
Which part? Which part?
The
dark
part
hair
of
thing?
not getting gray hair.
Oh, I'm sure I have it in there somewhere, but the problem is I had this delusion that I would highlight it and then eventually the gray hair would catch up, so it would just be all one thing, right? And about, 10 years ago, was it 10? Yeah. Well, 5. I was like, this is not working the way I had planned it. So, I don't know. It is what it is. But I truly think people should do whatever they want to do, especially now because there's so many great products that are made for silver hair that look really good. Like, it's not your grandmother's blue hair anymore,
Yeah. And I think seeing so many women in the public eye embracing it and kind of, paving the way, I like that. But yeah, I'm with you. It's like whatever makes you feel good. Like if it makes you feel empowered to let your gray grow, do it. If it makes you feel empowered to still, cover it up, then keep it. Like, yeah, I go back and forth. Like I've told my stylist who's like, she's younger than Peyton. She's probably 24. When I went in and said, "Look, I don't want to necessarily hide all my grays. I want to like highlight them. But I have a patch back here." I can't remember if I told you guys this on the episode where we talked about it, and it's like all gray right here. So she has to kind of like break that
even
up
it
so I
out.
don't look
Yeah.
totally ridiculous. But yeah, anyway, it's a whole thing. But I'm definitely here for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Okay. This
right.
one drives me insane. Okay, go ahead. You unveil it.
Protein with everything. Protein
Goodness.
coffee, protein syrup, protein popcorn, protein water. Ugh, disgusting. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't want meat in my coffee. Like, I know I'm being silly, but
It's not meat.
Whatever it is, just ugh. Right? And here's the other
flavored coffee.
Yeah, while I'm on the rant with the protein coffee, for those of us that have dairy issues, the problem is that that's what Starbucks has doubled down on. So if you order whatever it is, protein cream or whatever, it's just like more dairy. So for me, I'm like, well, any benefit that I get from that is going to make my stomach just not happy. Now, do I think I need to have more protein in my diet? Absolutely. I think I feel pretty solid about, when we did the review of Naomi Watts' book on menopause, like it said, like, menopausal women need more protein for sure. For sure. I know when you get older, just period, you need more protein because you have muscle loss. However, there is a time and there is a place. I feel like the protein movement has replaced the low carb and then the low cal movement. It's just like the newest marketing buzzword. Like protein water, really? Whoever thought that was a good idea?
Yeah. And I get it. It's like if women, especially women in midlife who are trying to, preserve their muscles, and we're trying to get, because I don't know about you, but I just don't eat that much
Yeah,
protein.
that's what's hard.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
a struggle. So
Yeah.
I kind of get it. And if I thought that the, companies out there had our best interests at heart by putting all the protein in
Totally.
it would be different. But no, they're just jumping on this trend and trying to make money.
It's a marketing scam.
I don't think it's a bad idea in itself because like you said, there is validity. Like there is science. Like listeners, if you haven't heard about having more protein in midlife, go look it up. Go find your favorite midlife influencer and go see what she says about it. But for me, I'm like, come on.
Yeah. And side note, sort of adjacent topic, could we stop being told to put beef tallow on our faces, please? Like, that is just fucking gross. I am sorry. Like,
I don't even know what that is.
Well,
is that the stuff in the bone? Is that like the marrow?
No, it's the fat.
Oh. Oh.
tallow is a nice word for saying the fat, right? And
Uh-huh.
you Google it, and dermatologists are like, if you want to break out like a teenager, put it on. But it's this whole thing that's been started by the Maha movement in terms of like, beef tallow being better for you than seed oils, and like, I'm not even going to dive into that, but like, that just sounds disgusting to me. I mean, as I do with things like the snail slime trend. Like, I'm sorry, no slime, no
Yeah.
beef fat, like, I good. It's nasty.
I don't even know about the snail slime, but I don't wanna go there because you know how I reacted to the whole parasite
Oh, yeah.
conversation we
Yeah.
had. So,
Yeah.
no.
It's
You know,
gross.
and this just makes me think of the young women in my life, my daughters, my stepdaughters, my daughters-in-law, my daughter, and it's like so many times I'll say, "Oh, where'd you get that?" Whether it's something for the baby or something
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
cosmetic, "Oh, I saw it on TikTok."
Yeah.
And so it's like, and I'm not totally opposed
Yeah.
to getting great things, on social media, but I'm just hoping that we're all doing our research about it, you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
hence
And
beef tallow.
what I've noticed, to get on the social media bandwagon for a minute, is that they're getting super, super tricky. So on Facebook and Instagram, to a certain extent, I've seen things where it's like supposedly a person on your feed, and it says, "What are all of you doing about blah, blah, blah? I need recommendations about blah, blah, blah." And so it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I could use some recommendations. And then you jump in there and people are posting, and about like 5 people in, you're like, I don't know any of these people.
Mm,
Do I
haven't
know
that.
this person? And then I realize, right, it's a bot, number 1,
Mm,
and it's a marketing plan. And you will see, like, halfway through the thread, the person says, as a different person, "Oh, have you tried blah, blah, blah? Here, I'll send you the link." Like, it's like one of your besties doing that, and you click on the link, and it's like, "I'm so glad you recommended us." And it's subtle enough that if you aren't really paying attention, I think that people would fall for it. I got all the way to the page, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this is bullshit." And then I, like, retraced my steps, and I was like, "Nope, I know, that's just lame."
I I'm gonna sound like my grandmother, when she used to talk about the, answering machine that we had in the '80s, but I think we all need to get off the internet. I think we all need to get off social media. I think we all need to unplug. We all need to get off the grid. I think it's just getting wild,
Yeah,
and that's not even the wildest thing, but it's
yeah,
like, ugh,
yeah,
just
and you're talking to an Instagram girly, people, so take that.
right. Exactly. I
Yeah,
was just
no.
telling Lisa before we started recording that I'm considering archiving my Facebook. 'Cause I'm just like, it just doesn't feel good anymore, but
Yeah,
I have so many connections on there, I don't know, I go
that's
back
what they count on. That's what they count on. I know.
right? I just feel like it would be such a big middle finger to Meta, which I love.
My name is Karen Shatafian, and I am a shameless coffee addict and empowerment coach for women, and my love language is authenticity. My mission is helping women unapologetically design a life they're in love with. Because what the hell are we waiting for? My website, KarenShatafian.com, has all my coaching packages and free offers like my Midlife Reclamation Guide. In it, you'll find tools to help you decide how to create the most inspired and empowered version of yourself and your life. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram talking about ways women can show up for themselves after decades of showing up for everyone else. Join me as we throw off the shackles and live our best freaking lives. See the show notes for all the details. Cheers.
Can we talk about pickleball?
I know. This is kinda interesting. Like,
I
okay,
never got on that bandwagon.
so my, like, 80-year-old aunt, is she 80 yet? She might be pushing, is obsessed with it. My, like, 55, no, 60-year-old cousin is obsessed with it. I have never played it, but it looks like fun. When I talked to my aunt about it, she's like, "It's like easier tennis." And it just brings it all down to a level that's manageable, and so you can, get your exercise and have fun, but it isn't like, Andre Agassi, like, mode. And I was like, "Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Alright."
Well, because tennis is super hard on your body. Like,
Yeah, because 'cause you're
tennis is
pounding on the clay
no
and stuff all
joke.
the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you're playing my ex-husband used to play, and it was, there
Okay.
was it was full tilt.
Wow. Okay.
Um, yeah, I've never played it either, so I do feel bad judging it a little bit, but it does feel kinda culty. And But I'm here for women getting together in community. I'm
Yeah.
here for women moving their bodies, whatever
Yeah.
that looks like in whatever way. But it does feel like a little bit of a cult.
And it's more accessible too. That's the other thing is I think that the court's small. There's some kind of something that makes it like easier than a tennis court to set up. So I'm
Yeah.
sure you can get like sets with nets and things like that. But yeah, that one doesn't necessarily bother me as much as like it's that typical trend thing where you feel like you're the last person to figure out what the heck everybody's talking about, you know? So I was like,
Yeah.
what? I still want to know what it has to do with pickles, but maybe I don't want to know. So,
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but that's a great question.
right?
We'll find out. We'll get the
Okay.
research team right on that.
Yep. They're very good at that.
I don't even know if this is a trend per se, but I see a lot more of it now than
Yep.
we used to. And it's women traveling solo. Have you ever, I mean, I know you travel solo for
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken a solo vacation?
I have. And it was interesting. It was fun. I'd do it again for sure if there was things I wanted to do that people didn't want to do. I want to do an episode about it because I do think it's becoming more of a trend. I do think that my preference would probably be to do it with like a group of women or like a guide or something like that. I mean, we talked about that a little bit in our Eat, Pray, Love episode. I love how like our episodes are now being identified with trends. It's like, that's the part. I don't know if I like that, but yeah, I would do it. It really just depends on where though, because there are places I would not go
Yeah.
myself because I just
Yeah.
think it's not wise. But I would go like I am manifesting a Drinks with the Girls like travel agency someday where we do like in addition to our retreats, maybe not a travel agency. I don't want to travel. I don't want to plan people's trips, but like once a year we do a trip. Like that would be so freaking fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think I've ever traveled solo. I mean, like I don't think I've ever like gone anywhere big. You know, like I used to have a condominium in Palm Desert. And so of course I've been out there, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
That's my house.
Yeah.
Or it was. It's not mine anymore. So yeah, so I haven't. I have a client who this is like she's recently divorced. So she's putting the pieces back together. She's recovering. She's going to be retiring soon. So she's like, who the hell am I? What am I doing? What's going on? Like she's been so out of sorts, obviously. And she's a pilot. So she travels. So she
Yeah.
is a very experienced traveler. And one of her things was traveling by herself or building a community of women to travel with. And she has gone to some of the freaking coolest places since we've been working together. Antarctica, Bhutan,
Wow.
Greenland. I mean, she's just killing it in terms of this goal that she set. And, you know, she's doing it. And she has built this community of women that she now now they plan trips together.
See, that would be a blast, I think.
Yeah. It's amazing. But yeah, so I'm envious of her because I haven't gone anywhere.
For me, I went to Key West and for me it was about I had this set period of time where I was in between jobs and in between a move. Like it was a definitive amount of time, like a month or 6 weeks. I'd always wanted to go to Key West. I couldn't find anybody that necessarily could fit that in that window and do it. So I was like, screw it, I'm just going. And that was fun.
So this was
It was
before
fun.
you were married?
Yeah, yeah. This is like, gosh, late 20s. No. Early 30s. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think it'd be
I
much
could
more fun to do it with a bunch of women.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. These days for me, going somewhere sorry, Tony, I hope you're not listening. Going somewhere by myself, even just for like 3 or 4 days, like, just sounds really beautiful. And, I mean, there's really no reason I can't do it. I
Yep.
just need to make it happen.
Yep.
I mean, there's all these excuses, but no real reason. So the other thing that has been all over everywhere is Ozempic. And, you know, obviously the weight conversation or the diet or health conversation. So what do you think about this quote unquote trend?
Yeah. So at the risk of saying we have an episode for every trend we're discussing, I swear we didn't plan this. We did an episode about this, and I was very open about my journey on a GLP-1 and you know how I felt that it was a really positive thing in my life. So I go back to kind of the gray hair thing, right? I think that it is life-changing for some people. It may not be for other people. I think having the choice is a really good thing. I think about people like my son who is struggling with that, and as a person with autism, they often have that they don't have a really good filter just in terms of, "I don't have to eat all the time," kind of a thing. I think we've been going through all this crap to give him access to it, and he's tried all sorts of stuff. So I think that it can be really life-changing for people with issues like diabetes and things like that, and, I think it's a matter of choice. I do think the part I don't like about it is the part that it's for the rich and wealthy for the most part, because these companies are making like, there's a whole Danish I think it's Denmark, if I'm not mistaken, that's literally, like, been built by it's either Wegovy or Zepbound or something like that, like, and I do think that they need to do what they can to make it accessible to people who really need it, like, who have diabetes or, any of that. How about you?
Yeah. I How do I feel about this? How do I feel about this? It's like, why are we still talking about women's bodies?
There's that.
It's like, let's let women either and agreed, if women feel like they wanna take it, if they have access, if it makes them feel empowered, go for it, you know? If you don't wanna take it, fine, but you don't need to judge people who do.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
and I just feel like women can't win because you
No,
just
totally.
look at celebrities, and who are in the limelight, right? And if somebody's overweight or they're letting themselves go, and then they just get dragged in the comment section about not looking healthy or being
Yeah.
overweight or whatever. Well, guess what? They go the other way, and
Yeah.
then they do go on Ozempic
Yeah.
and they lose a bunch of weight, and then it's like, oh, they get dragged for that. So
Yep.
it's like,
No, you're
it's
damned
just
if you do and you're damned if you don't, 100%.
100%.
And for me, sure, I wanted to lose some weight because I wanted to look better, but the overriding that was just kind of a bonus. The overriding thing for me, and I talk about this in that episode, is health. Like, my knees were killing me, like, I could, and it was a lot of weight. Like, I took off, I think, 50 pounds at this point, and my body feels better. So, I'm not saying my reason is better than any other reason, but I do yeah, like, if that's what you want, do it. I don't know. There's so many things that are around for people to judge. Just Jesus, these people have so much time in their day. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Just stop with the judgy.
All right, so this next one is not so much as a trend, like, it is a reality, and we all have to just understand it's here to stay, it's not
Yep.
going
Yep.
anywhere, but it's AI and AI in everyday life.
Yep.
Like, a year ago, people were really still trying to figure out, like, what is AI and how does it affect me, like the regular person? But now
Yep.
I think, people are, creating their menus with it and asking, well, what kind of haircut should I get? Or,
Yep.
planning speeches or workouts like we've talked about before. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about AI, like for the regular everyday
Yeah.
person?
For me, I think I really love it as a tool when I have large quantities of information to synthesize. I don't use it to replace things, but if I've got to research something or check sources, I've got so many balls in the air. It really helps, like I said, in those situations where you have large, massive chunk of information, you've got to figure it all out. So in terms of making my life easier and doing that, great. But I think you have to be cautious about it, just like anything else. Most organizations now are getting an AI policy because a lot of people don't realize that when you put something in there, it is out there on the web. So I'm always really, really careful when I put stuff in there around medical questions or things like that if it's a question I have about my son or I'm doing research on something, I don't ever put his name in there or anything. So I think like anything, you have to think about it. I think that we're fast getting to the point where things are like, wait a minute, that's going too far. Have you heard of that AI actress, Tilly?
Oh, goodness, no.
Yeah. Yeah. So they've literally, this company made an AI generated actress, physical composition, speech, and there's a woman in the New York Times that I'll link it in the show notes, but she interviewed her and her handler. And it was really interesting. She goes, I had to keep reminding myself that this was not a real person. Right. So I definitely think that the technology can be incredibly useful, for doctors to dictate notes and all sorts of stuff. But I think that what's happening is that technology is outpacing the privacy controls. And so I think people are scrambling to do that. Like, I mean, if you think about the actors and the writers, like they got on that real early because they could see, oh, hell no, you're not going to replace us. So yeah, I mean, I think that people need to be cautious, but I don't think it's a horrible thing. I think just like anything else, it can be used in a bad way.
I agree with you. I think when I first started hearing about it, it was for business. So I had business coaches and people
Yep.
that I admired talking about it. And so I'm like, "Oh, no, that's creepy. I don't want to do that." But then of course, once I learned more about it, I was like, "Oh, wow, this could make my life so much easier."
Yeah.
And so then I started, kind of experimenting with it, and I became very lazy. Like, I became very lazy, and also I realized super quick that it's not me. And when people and I'm talking business-wise, I'm not talking, personal-wise, but when I post content or I write something or whatever, it's like people hire me because of me,
Yep.
And so if I'm using AI to write content, I'm filtered out of there. So I had to put the brakes on that super quick. But the thing that really scares me about AI is people talking about replacing therapists with AI.
Yeah, I mean, that's not something to talk about when it happens. It is there, and there's all this
Yeah.
controversy about that because some of the newer generations think it's okay, and obviously that's a
Yeah.
huge thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey there, I'm Lisa Corachella McDowell, your midlife Pacific Northwest princess, here to guide you in the art of next leveling your life. I'm passionate about women's health and wellness in midlife, especially for moms parenting kids with unique needs like I do. I truly believe we can learn, grow, advocate, and care for the planet while taking care of ourselves and our families. And I'd love to help you do the same. And I'm beyond excited to tell you about my membership for maxed out mamas just like me, the Empowered Parent Collective. It's a space for parents to confidently advocate for their kids, build inclusive communities, educate themselves, and find balance and support along the way. To find out more about the Empowered Parent Collective, my classes, wellness offerings, parenting tips, advocacy resources, and exclusive Drinks with the Girls goodies, head to nextlevellifewithlisa.com. Let's survive and thrive in the messy middle together.
I don't know if have you seen the Scarpetta series with Nicole Kidman? It's based on the Patricia
No,
Cornwall
I
books.
want
Okay.
to. What's
It's
it?
really good. It's really good. But without being a spoiler, there's a character in there whose spouse has passed, and they have made an AI version of that spouse, and they have conversations with the spouse. So that factors into the plot line, and it's pretty fascinating and interesting. I will say, back to your whole it's not me. I use it quite a bit in my business to, like I said, corral large pieces of information and analyze it. But that being said, I have also fed it very specific things like, this is the customer that I'm targeting, this is what their needs are, or fed it samples of my writing or different things, right? Like I've done a lot of work to build what they call, custom GPTs or projects or stuff that are sourced from things that I've already done. And by the way, I never just cut and paste and put it in there. Like, I'm sorry, but people are getting really sophisticated enough. I mean, they could tell. I'm always like, that was written by AI. Like,
Right.
when you get this nicely
work.
summarized, when you get this nicely summarized email that you're like, I've never gotten an email like that from you in your life. Like, that's complete
And if
bullshit.
there's an M dash in there, I mean, that's basically shining a light on the fact that you're using AI.
Or the
Yeah,
other one that people do that I'm spotting now is, if you'll notice on an email, the AI part, the text is squished together a little bit more because they've copied and pasted and just thrown it in there. That's like a dead giveaway to me.
I haven't noticed that. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I'm the same. I've gotten really good at fighting back with AI. It's like they'll spit something out to me and I'll be like, "No, that is 100% not okay or
Are you fighting with your AI bot?
not accurate." Literally, but I think you have to. Like, if
Mhm.
you are going to use AI in, I don't even want to say ethical, but if you're going to use AI in a way that is helpful for you and what you're trying to do,
Yep.
you have to fight back. It's
Yeah.
a freaking
Yeah.
robot. It's
No,
not
totally.
real. And it doesn't know more than you do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it literally does not. I mean, maybe sure with like when you're, doing research or you're trying to,
Yeah.
like you said, you're trying to organize things. Sure. But it doesn't know you better than you do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I fight with it all the time. I love
Yeah.
it. And I love its responses back to me.
Oh, I know. And I will like treat it like my ugly stepchild assistant. I'll be like, what are you doing? This has nothing to do with what I fed you. You need to do better. And it's literally like, I'll go back.
Totally.
I'm so sorry. I will try better next time. And I actually feel better. I'm just like, God, this is how like the Devil Wears Prada was born.
Okay. Okay, this is one too that has been out there for a while, but what do you think about cold plunges and like some other of these, wellness trends that we've heard about for a while?
Okay. So I feel like all of these things have like, I could take each of these and talk about them in pieces, right? So I think I'll just like start with the cold plunge thing. So guess what? Fun fact. When they did the research, it was all on men. So all the data that they have to show that cold plunges are good for people, good for the men. The data shows unequivocally not so good for women, especially postmenopausal women. So, and y'all, like, I work at a company that uses a lot of research, so I know like what's good research and what isn't. And anybody could slap something together and call it research. So you really need to be very aware of your sources. Look at things that are what we call peer reviewed, right? So they have a third party looking at them and verifying the data so that you know that it's the real deal. There's certain standards that are in place to qualify something as a peer-reviewed study or a scientifically based study, and most people, that's just kind of lost on them. So just, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it just gets a little not dangerous. That was just the first
Yeah.
word that came to my mind. But
Yeah.
when we're looking online and we're hearing these, people on podcasts or whatever, and they're talking about all these things, sure. They might, if it helps people get healthier and or at least be aware of their health
Yeah.
more, okay, sure. But to your point, it's like, yeah, do some digging. Like make sure that the quote unquote research that's behind the things that you're looking
Yeah.
at are worthy and not worthy, are accurate. The thing that is hard for me right now that is targeted midlife women are all the supplements.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like there's so many things we're supposed to add to our coffee and add to our smoothie and take after working out and, take this to sleep and da-da-da. And I mean, I am all for my magnesium that I take to go to sleep at night because it helps. But it's like at what point do we not need all this BS,
Yeah.
All right. I love this one. How do you feel about dry January and like the whole mocktail culture that's come out of it?
So I'm going to separate these things.
Okay.
I've done dry January before, and I think it's a really good thing. I think it can show people that they can do without alcohol. I have a paradigm in my house where my husband is a recovering alcoholic and I'm not. So I drink, he doesn't. So I see kind of from both sides. I think that, and we've done, again, there's an episode for that. We did a whole thing because we're Drinks with the Girls with the new findings on alcohol and all that. So I'll link that. But what I am absolutely there for unequivocally is having more choices. I love, love, love the fact that a side effect of people questioning whether they want to keep drinking has been the development of a marketplace that has really awesome non-alcoholic options. I.e., I just found out our town has a non-alcoholic bar. And I told my husband about it. I'm like, we got to go. This is the coolest thing ever. I am so there for that. I have tasted various things. I haven't done the mock like hard liquor yet, but I would think that would be easier to imitate. I've tried non-alcoholic beer. I like it. Non-alcoholic wine, I have not found a good one yet, but I again, it's choices and health options. I'm totally here for it. I think it's great. How about you?
This sounds so bad, but like I tease people about dry January. I'm like, oh hell no, dry January? What are you talking about?
I
And
mean,
that says more about me than the person. But uh, I think, yeah, if you want to do a dry January, if you feel like you need a reset, if you feel like you're like sober curious, I feel
yeah,
like that's a great
yep,
way to get
mhm,
started.
yep,
And I have people who I love who are sober, and I've watched their journey, and I love this so much, specifically for my nephew. He's in his 30s now, but he became sober when he was a teenager. And I mean, talk about a difficult time to try to stay sober.
oh, yeah,
And he kind of missed this. He was a little bit too young for this whole trend, but, like, for young people now trying to get
yeah,
sober, I think this is fabulous because so much of your young life is around, unfortunately, drinking and going
mhm,
out and partying and
yeah,
clubbing and this, that, and the other.
yep,
And I just think now, normalizing people not drinking is fantastic. And mocktails, like, having fun because that's the whole thing, like, when you go out and you're talking to somebody, you wanna just have something in your hand, right?
yeah,
And
yep,
it's fun if it's a fun little mocktail, right?
yep,
Instead of
yep,
just, like, club soda, but
yep,
that works too.
yep,
But anyway,
agreed,
so yeah, so I'm here for both dry January and mocktails.
yep.
So, how do we feel about, like, feeling like everything has to become like a side hustle? Like, can we just garden or crochet for fun? Like, can we just make sourdough and not feeling like we have to sell it? I don't know.
Yes.
We just don't need hobbies becoming just another opportunity to monetize ourselves.
To play devil's advocate, again,
Yeah.
there's an episode for that. We just had the fabulous Patricia Drain on there who was talking exactly about this and developing those traits. So I think it can be either or. Totally agree. You don't have to make everything have monetary value. You can just enjoy doing something if you want to enjoy doing something. However, I do like the idea that you can monetize your passions if that's something that you want to do. I think that we are really at an inflection point in terms of corporate culture and in terms of hustle culture, and I think people are fed up and they're trying to find alternatives to that. So I think I'm there for that whole thing. But yeah, like, I mean, just crochet if you want to friggin' crochet. You don't have to open a Etsy shop or Etsy. Sorry, my daughter's like,
I
"It's
was
not Etsy.
Did
It's
you
not
say eat?
Etsy. It's not like Grubhub." I'm like, "Sorry, Etsy, whatever. Etsy beatsy spider."
Oh god.
Just saying.
Yeah, I think it's hard too because at least where I live in Southern California, like, literally trying to pay your bills is a challenge
Yeah.
if your job is not 6 figures. So, people having a side hustle is maybe necessary sometimes just to pay your rent.
Mhm. So, at the risk of saying we have an episode that literally profiles every trend we've talked about, I do think that this idea of trends and things that you have to do gets a little ridiculous in midlife. Like, again, we did a whole episode on the influencer that does the We Do Not Care Club. And I feel like that's kind of the antidote to all this, right? Because again, listen to that, but she just talks about like, we do not care if this and that and this and that and the other. And I do think that she's speaking directly to a lot of these trends for sure. So I'll be interested, listeners, to hear what you say about different trends that you're like, why is this a thing? Or conversely, things that you've jumped on. We would love to get your feedback on that. And yeah, we're going to wrap up this side of the public episode and ease on down the road to Patreon. What's Patreon, you ask? Well, Karen's here to tell you.
Yes, because if you know us, you know we always have more to say. So, we have our Patreon, which we like to call After Hours, and we really would like you to join us because that's where our podcast ends, but the real conversation just gets going. Today in After Hours, we're going to take the conversation deeper and we're going to talk about things that are bigger than trends. We're going to ask why midlife women seem especially drawn to them in the first place. And what's actually helping us build happier lives? Is it doing cold plunges and playing pickleball? Maybe. I don't know. But let's find out in the Patreon. I hope you come over there and join us. And if not, we're just happy that you're here.
And we'll see you next time on Drinks with a Girl.
Well, we've reached the part of the conversation where we probably should stop talking.
But we never do.
We really don't. But hold up. You're probably wondering where the rest of this episode went.
I got you. This is why we have one brain. We've launched Drinks with the Girls 2.0, and it's over on Patreon. We've realized some of our best conversations happen after we've officially wrapped things up.
This is where you'll get the end of the conversation plus early access to all the episodes so you never miss Last Call.
You'll get the stories we probably shouldn't share, the things we weren't planning to say, the random rabbit holes that somehow become the best part of the conversation.
Basically, all the stuff that happens when the microphones are still on, but we're no longer behaving ourselves, like that ever happens.
And best of all, you'll get in on the ground floor of the rocket ship that is Drinks with the Girls 2.0.
We've been teasing this for a while now, and it's finally here. You'll get to own your very own slice of Drinks with the Girls 2.0 and help us launch this sucker into the stratosphere.
So if you'd like to pull up a seat for one more round or join us for a coffee date, come join us on Patreon. The link is in the show notes.
We'd love to have you, and we're saving you a seat.
Wait, why are you still here? Head over to Patreon and join us now.